Hello and welcome back to the Qt Office video tutorials. This video tutorial is going to cover your initial inventory input, which is part of setting up your Qt for the first time. So I'm going to cover a few different things in here, but this is one of the most important videos you can watch because if you do not input your inventory correctly the first time, it's going to be thrown off from the start. So let's go ahead and get started on the correct way to input your inventory. The first step of inputting your inventory is to do a physical count of everything you have on your shelf. Now Qt's made this easy for you because we can print off blank forms. Well, actually they'll have the product names, but besides that they'll all say 0, and you can find these forms under inventory and then go to print inventory, which will be in the pink bar right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click on print inventory now just to show you what it looks like. So the print inventory can be used in a couple different ways. One way would be to actually check what you have in stock, and you would leave this only print inventory in stock. But because we're using this for your initial product input, we're going to use it more like an order form. So the first thing I'm going to do is uncheck the only print inventory in stock because we don't have any inventory in stock yet, and then I'm going to uncheck category title, which will uncheck everything. I'm going to go down here one at a time, and I'll start with the new regular line. And I'm going to hit print, so make sure you're hooked up to a printer. And what this is going to do, it's going to show me a layout of all the different items under the new regular line, different categories, and these will change as products are released. This is a test account, so I do show that I have some in stock, but all of your in stock will show zeros just like this column. So the idea of this is you'll print this and then just use this as a guideline to go by. If you don't want to use the printout forms, then that's absolutely okay. If you do want to use them, I would suggest printing one at a time so they don't get all mixed up. Let's go ahead and show you how to actually physically update the products in Qt. So after you do your initial inventory count on paper, you can either use the product codes and plug them in here, or a product keyword like TimeWise. If you use the keyword, it's going to pull up everything with that keyword in there. It does look for an exact match. Although you can use the keyword to search for products, during your initial inventory setup, I would not recommend it. The reason for that is it's going to pull up everything with that keyword. So you're going to have a lot of things, especially in a case for something like TimeWise. And actually these little D's next to here means the product is discontinued. If you've been selling Mary Kay a while, you very well may have some discontinued products on your shelf, but if you're new to Mary Kay, then those are just going to get in the way. An easier way would be to use product codes. Let's say that I did have a discontinued product. So this product code will just pull up this one item. So if you do have a product code, then it's really helpful and really quick to just enter it into the search box here. Make sure you do not have your only show on hand products checked, because if you don't have the product in, it's not going to show up for you. Another way to add products is to use the drop down boxes here. So I'm going to click on skincare, and then botanicals will come up because it's the first one in the list here. This gives me a view of all the products in the subcategory here. I can edit how many I have just by changing the in stock field here. Let's say I have 2, I just click on 2 and click somewhere else on the screen and it uploads. Very important, if you do not have it in bulk edit mode and you still have it in normal edit mode, every time you do an update it's going to go ahead and load. This could cost you a lot of time, so if you want to save some time, put it in bulk edit mode and you'll see that the program no longer loads between each update. And then when I'm done, I can hit update. If you start at the bottom of your page and work your way up, then you'll end with the button right there waiting for you. And you may have noticed that I have a lot of negatives in section 1 and section 2. That's because this is a test account and I've created a lot of invoices without having any product in there. So you can go into the negatives and your negative products will automatically be added to your reorder items sheet. If you want to put your don't fall below items for certain items, then just change it here. So let's say that I wanted to have 4 of these, but I only have 2, then my reorder items, which has my don't fall below as well, will show that I need 2 of these items because I told the system that. There's a couple situations that I want to point out here to keep your inventory on track. The first one's going to be gift with purchase items. They're going to be listed under section 2, and then gift with purchase 2012. This holds true for anything in 2011, 10, or before as well too. You'll notice that here's the 2012 gift with purchase Mini Time Wise Body Targeted Action Toning Lotion and Mini Time Wise. Here's the normal line item from Mary Kay. Mary Kay does not have an individual package item, they only have the single package that has 5 in there. So what QT has done is we've added our own line item, which is exactly the same as this one, except we put an I for individual after it. You can see each individual item is worth $4, where the packaged item is worth 20. So what we do in this case is if we had one of these, we'd want to go ahead and change this to 0, and then change the next one to 5, and that's symbolizing, hey QT, I had one package of this, but I opened and there's 5 in there, and that records everything correct. The same is true if you have an item such as TimeWise Step 1 and 2 and you're going to sell one of those. If you bought the Step 1 and 2 package, you're going to want to open that, you're going to want to put 0 in the package item, and then 1 in each Step 1 and 1 in Step 2 respectively to account for that. After you're completed inputting your initial inventory, then the hard part's really over. That's the most time consuming. If you've made it past that, then you're really ready to get started using this system. The next thing we'll have to do though is we have to give you credit for the expenses you spent on that. I'll explain a little bit more after we get to expenses. Okay, I'm on the expense page now, and I'm going to click on Add Expense. The add expense is going to have all kinds of different expenses, and we also have automobile expenses, event expenses. We have information like tax report and weekly accomplishment sheet, which are covered more in depth in other videos. But I'm going to click on add expense now, and this is what I want to show you is this drop down box. Specifically these 4 categories here: unimported section 1 wholesale, unimported section 2 retail, taxes paid to Mary Kay, and shipping paid to Mary Kay. Anytime you import an order from Mary Kay InTouch, we're going to actually split your order up into these different amounts and make sure you get the tax write-off that you need. So it's going to be split into section 1 wholesale, section 2 retail, taxes paid to Mary Kay, and shipping paid to Mary Kay, and all that's going to be automated. But because you are inputting your product manually right now, just to catch up and make sure everything's correct, for any order that you're not importing in, you're going to have to enter these 4 different things. So let's pretend it's March now and you haven't done any orders. That means January and February you're going to want to go and look at your order sheets and say, okay, this is how much I spent, so I'm going to add an expense category for each of these. So let's say you had 3 orders between January and February, you're going to have 3 different sets of each 4 of these. So you're going to have 3 different wholesales, 3 different section 2 retail, taxes paid to Mary Kay, and shipping paid to Mary Kay. And you just put in the amount, and then you can put in a little note there and hit save, and it'll be added for you, and it'll total up for you on your end of your tax sheet. Again, when you import your orders, we're going to take care of all that for you. And you do not want to import your old orders. A lot of people think that's a great idea, but we highly suggest not importing orders that you already have on your shelf. And the reason for this is because it's very easy to get your inventory off track from the start. What happens is people import those old orders, they lose track of what happened to remove the product from the shelf, whether they borrowed a product or they loaned a product, or if you created an old invoice, anything like that, and then their inventory is off and they don't know why. So the safest bet is to manually input all your products, do a product count, and then put in these 4 categories for any orders that you do not import. After you've completed doing all this and your inventory reflects what you actually have on your shelf at home, then please proceed on to the create old invoice video, which is going to be located under invoice and then create invoice. That'll show you how to input an old invoice without throwing your inventory off. So that's a very quick video. It's under a minute long, and that's going to save you a great deal of headache too. Thank you very much for watching our video, and thank you so much for being a QT. If you have any questions, please let us know. Just click on the help or contact us button here at the top of your screen.